Nice car.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good.
Very good.
How
Nice.
are you?
Very good, thanks.
Hell, you're doing wonderful.
Nice car. What year is it?
This is 1977. Doesn't it look like it?
I am Apple with Spark TV, and we're here at Mini Meet West 2016.
I'm kind of a mini nutter. I always wanted ended up with 5 of them, and then went over to England in 2001, and I bought this car for, at that time, £1,000, which is about $1,400. It was happily rusting away over there. I told the guy that with the rusted parts, I wanted him to get Heritage panels, which were just coming on the market then. And it took 2 years to get it shipped to the States. He went through a heart attack, then his mother died, and it had to be loaded onto the container ship and taken off with a forklift because it hadn't been running for 10 or 15 years. And the driver's door, right-hand drive, had to be strapped on. There no metal to attach it to. And I like to do rotisserie bare metal restorations and quality paint jobs, so it took several years. The car always was fighting me, like to get 2 years to get here and then a couple of years to get it restored, painted. And then it took over a year to get it assembled. It fought me every time I put a new piece on it. And I even named it Malphasia, which to me was, it was going through a bad phase in its life. And now I need to rename it because it runs just so sweetly. But it's fairly low mileage at 63,000 miles, all original engine and drivetrain, subframes. It's got all original interior. Not perfect, but it's only original once. The woodwork was done by my 83-year-old father at that time. Now he's 93. He was a custom home builder and a woodworker, so he had planted green ash trees at the age of 13, and when the farm was no longer in the family's ownership, beaver were cutting down the trees he planted, and so we got permission to harvest them. had them milled and kept them up in the haymow for a number of years. And then along with my countryman, he did the wood for both over 2 different winters. The first one he did out of 6x6 pieces and cut it all out on a bandsaw and stuff like that. On this one, he learned how to do it like they did originally over in England with the English ash. You cut it and then you steam it and bend it, but you gotta learn how much to bend it because it springs back, and then you can only steam them once. And so there's kind of a certain heritage there that the car has that means a lot to me, having my father done the woodwork. And it's with the 848cc engine, it won't do freeway speeds, but it'll cruise probably all day long at 55 miles an hour. So it's turned into a little sweetheart.
My name is Mac Dolphy, and this is my 1974 Australian Mini Moke. Basically, the reason this Mini Moke is so cool to me is I've been around Minis my entire life. My dad had a Mini since I was like 3 years old. I've helped him work on it all my life, and recently when I turned 16, I kind of discovered I had a love for engines and everything mechanical, and I've known Graham Reed for a really long time, and he offered me an internship at his shop. And the whole deal was I was able to work on my car as long as I worked on his cars and his customers' cars for the first half of the day. So first half of the day I got all the dirty jobs, I cleaned the shop, I worked on his customers' cars and cleaned stuff for him, and then the second half of the day was mine, and he would help me out, and he would have the guys around the shop help me out, and we turned out with something pretty cool. I gotta say, I'm really proud of it. It took me a lot of hours, a lot of long nights. There was a lot of learning involved in it, and I'm really proud of it. This is my Moke. Yeah, there's a really great picture. Anyone who knows my family really well knows this picture because it's kind of the best picture that there is of me and my dad. Like I said, he's had that Mini Cooper ever since I was like 3 years old, and there's a great picture of me and him sitting underneath it, his legs sticking out, him in his jeans, and my little 3-year-old legs sticking out in my diaper, and both of us are working on the car together, and he's making me feel included. This is my father. He's the person who got me into cars, and he's the reason that I know Graham Reed and the reason we've got this Moke sitting behind us here.
Cool. Very proud of him. I think the one underneath the car is probably the one that comes to mind immediately because it's a great picture with, I'm out the car and there's his little legs right beside me. The only other thing that was funny was that with the Mini in particular, we had a car seat put in the back seat and he had his little harness made for him, his little racing harness in the back, and we'd go everywhere. We'd just tootle around everywhere with it. So I think probably that's probably the two things that come to mind immediately.
Hi, we're Lee and Sue Cassad. We're from Escondido, California, and we're down here enjoying Mini Meet West in the San Diego Harbor. It's absolutely gorgeous day today, and we brought our 1968 Mini Minor Innocenti 850cc car to show off to people. We've had this car since 2001. It came to this country from Germany. The car had been painted, but none of the restoration work had been done on it. All the parts were laying inside the car, and we purchased it and spent about a year and a half putting it all back together again.
And a few dollars.
Oh, quite a few dollars. And now it's time to enjoy it. It's been a lot of places, particularly for something with an 850 in it. But probably its most memorable thing that it's done is in 2006, we loaned the car to the La Jolla Playhouse, and they used it as the main prop in a theater play, 1960s vintage of Much Ado About Nothing, and had quite a time with it. We saw things done with our car that made us go, ooh!
They would push it on and off and on. We had to drain the gas before we took it into the stage. So.
And we had to put a diaper on it so it couldn't leak anything on the floor. They had it for about 8 weeks, and they actually took pretty good care of it. It did sustain some damage, which they paid for.
They were great.
And we had a good time, and we're glad we
Proud
did it.
Mini owner. She's one of 5 classics, and we also have an 07 Big Mini, and we call her Queen E for Queen Elizabeth because she's queen. She's the big one of the fleet.
So we enjoy our car, and like I say, it is an 850, but it runs along pretty good as long as we keep it going down the road. What time is it?
What time is it? It's Mini time! Time to go!
And today I brought our 1962 Mini Cooper pickup. His name is Tiny Toes, and my husband helped me modify him into a tiny tow truck. So he does have a 2,500-pound electric working winch, air compressor, fire extinguishers, jumper cables, all of the standard stuff, tool chest, extra gas can, extra tires, all the things that a little tow truck should have. And I bought him about 3 years ago from a gentleman that I tried for 7 years to buy him from. He didn't really want to sell him, but after 7 years he gave in to me and sold me the truck, at which point we just stripped it completely down and we started from there. My husband and I, Norman Nelson is my husband, and we theme our cars. So we knew that this one needed a theme. We weren't really sure what we wanted to do with him, but once we stripped him down, we knew that he needed to be a tribute to tow trucks. So we made him a tribute to tow truck drivers, because there's a lot of guys out there and girls working really, really hard, and we want to give them the credit due. So when people see Tiny Toes, it makes them smile, and hopefully they have a great attitude toward their tow truck drivers. And we're glad to be here at Mini Meet West. We thank the staff. They've done an amazing job. And thanks for having us on.
Hi, my name is Gary Roberts. I've owned this Mini here since 2000. My first Mini was in '97 when I was stationed in Naples, Italy. What got me involved in them, I seen the comedian Mr. Bean, seen his car, and I thought it was really cool. When I got stationed in Naples, Italy, I seen them all over the place, and I had to take one home. When I got home, I found other people who was enthused about minis, got in touch with them, and been having a blast ever since. In 2000, going to a mini show, and my car got totaled. A couple months later, I found this one here in New York. This one here is a 71, and I've been enjoying it ever since. I have raced it at Qualcomm Stadium, did very well at it. I'm looking very forward to tomorrow, which is going to be the circuit course, and we're going to be racing again. Hopefully I do well in this one. This is the first time I had my Mini on the street in 9 years. So I'm back in the groove of things. I'm enjoying it so much more.
Hi, my name is William Gagan. I'm from Modesto, California. I have a 1965 Morris Mini pickup and a custom-built teardrop trailer that a very, very good friend of mine up in Redding, California had for about 6 years and decided to go in a different direction and provided me the opportunity to purchase it from him. He knew that it was going to go to a good home. I've personally known him for probably close to 10 years. I've only had it about 2 months, so this has been the longest trip that I've taken. We started out on Saturday from Modesto over to Santa Cruz, and then we came from Santa Cruz to Santa Barbara, and then from Santa Barbara to here, and then we will be headed back home to Modesto on Saturday. My son and daughter-in-law live here in Oceanside, and so we're going to spend a little bit of family time with them before we head back home. My wife is also the proud owner of a 1973 factory Rover Mini convertible, so we drove in separate cars down here, which is not the ideal situation, but both of us love our cars, love Minis. Back in the early 70s, a good high school friend of mine introduced me to the Mini community, and I'd always wanted one. So my first opportunity was in 2005. I ordered a new Mini Cooper of the new gen, and I've had it ever since. Love everything about the Minis, and primarily the people that are involved in the Mini community. Very, very nice people. If you have a problem anywhere, anytime, you contact a Mini owner, they'll be there to help you.
Actually, a little faster than the other one.
Yeah. Very good.
That's a good run. Go ahead. Thank you. You're good to go. That's better.
Better each time.
Yeah. Well, let's go for 64.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I have the D16.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I saw this in the show yesterday.
Yeah.
So it has like open.
ITBs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's,
little air filters to each one, right?
no, there's nothing right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's just open flow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I'm supposed to have the air filters on top,
Oh, okay.
but there's not enough room in there, so I've got to make something to put on there.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Do you have to tune the engine to differently for no air filters? Like, does that increase the flow to where the engine has to be changed?
no, it's just, we just tuned it just as is.
Oh, okay.
It's my second time autocrossing it, so
Oh, okay.
my first time was a couple minutes ago.
Yeah, yeah.
So we'll see how this one goes.
Oh, cool. What was your time on the last one?
70.
70?
So not too good.
That's not bad. I mean, you kind of shave a second or two
Yeah.
off each lap because you just learn the course.
My other car has 45 horsepower.
Really?
So I'm used to that car.
Yeah.
This one has a little bit more.
You're good. Yeah. Have fun.
Thanks.
Thank you.
I hope I was a little faster.
You got 6 seconds off.
I did?
Yeah.
6 seconds. There we go. Yes. I wanted 6 seconds off. I got 6 seconds. Thanks, Bill.
Thank you.
No. But that was fun. Can we go again?
Thank you. Thank you.
Then you can just brush that one.
Brush this left side?
No, this
one?
Yeah.
And pull over.
Right
as
there.
As soon as I get past this, start cranking.
When you hit a barrier, we're gonna honk a horn, and that'll denote demarc points taken off. Your objective is to go in the box, turn around, and get out of the box. That's your objective.
Can we go in backwards?
And not hit any of the barriers.
Can we go in backwards and come out backwards?
You silly.
Okay, here we go.
Okay. I believe it's 90 minutes.
Close.
And they are now taking pre-orders for that DVD. So if you'd like to put yours on order, and you'll be able to do that even through the banquet on Thursday. Go over and see Apple. She's there.
No, further. That's good.
I told you now. Or the Apple
We're going to end up over here.
Yeah, but you gotta turn.
So go see Apple and there's Apple right there.
Good. Good. Now out. You killed it. You want an innovation? You want an innovation? I got innovation.
The S-curve without taking out the barriers. You take out a barrier, we honk the horn. If it gets stuck and you want help, we will give you a handout.
Okay.
A handout means we push the ball out into the center, and you get a penalty of points for that.
How many?
Okay.
Oh,
But
that's too many.
seriously, no, seriously, if you're in there struggling because it's a timed course, take the penalty.
Yeah, okay. Punch that Good. We got it. That's good. No. Okay, yeah. Baby.
Nope, it's got to be the driver because we have to be consistent. I'm sorry. I know
Well,
you guys might have been told something.
Innovation, it said so.
I'm sorry, but
All right.
you don't want to hold it inside. Oh, right. The other thing is, you have to hold it like that. You can't hold the handle. All right? Your objective is, I'll give you a hint, okay? Do not stop the entire car in the middle of those barriers. You're not going to get it out.
Yeah.
All right? So your objective is to go down to the pole, turn around the pole.
I have
any
to
way
go
you want.
around to the right.
Any which way, right or left, we don't care. But the pole directly in front of you, you just have to do a circle around it, and then you're going to go out where those two people are, and Debbie will take your cup for you at the end.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah. What do you think of that? Go. This is be easy now. We did well on the ball. You lost half your water.
Couldn't keep the. Okay.
So we're going down to the second one, I guess.
Yeah, there's a third one. Way down there.
Yeah.
Right in front of the net.
Okay.
See the net?
Yeah, I see it.
Might make you do that over again. It's not, decision's not up to me. Uh-oh. Where's your speedometer? Which one?
Right there.
I don't know if this is going to stay. Okay. All right, your objective is where.
I'll hold it on here.
They didn't like that idea. I did what you told me to do.
I know, but you went off the boards with half your car. You got it.
Oh, I was off
the
half-
boards with half your car.
Oh, really?
Only 2 wheels were on the boards.
Oh.
Yeah. So that's why they may give you a does not qualify. I don't know. I don't make the decisions.
Yeah, that's
Okay. All right. So anyhow, what your objective is to try to get from Debbie to the other lady at the very end, just going 10 miles per hour. This is just a little bit of a running start to give you an idea of what you think 10 miles per hour is. Keep on going past the lady. Debbie will raise her hand, which will start the second timer. Keep on going past. She'll know when to stop.
So we get into 10 miles an hour by the time we hit these two.
You know, you're supposed to be doing 10 miles an hour the whole way.
Okay. Okay. All right. Perfect. Perfect. Move the cameras back. Hey, Susan. like these cameras. We're gonna keep them.
What'd you guys do?
I don't know. Tell us.
Guess as good as mine.
We just go whenever? Okay. You got it. Okay. Because we want to win. Whoa!
Hi there. My name is Nancy Homer, for those of you that don't know me. This is Wendy, my little roadster that I just got, less than a year ago. She's my third Mini Cooper. I used to own Miss Daisy that I sold to Heather Mage, so she's given her a good home. I have a Countryman at home that I drive primarily daily, so I can save the miles for Wendy to go on more Mini Cooper runs and rallies and events like Mini Meet West. So anyway, most people see me driving around town with my little Yorkie, and she goes primarily everywhere I go, and I'm usually in a Mini Cooper, and I live here in town. I'm glad everybody's here for Mini Meet West. We're having a really good time, and God granted us great weather for this week too. So.
Hello, my name's Norm Nelson. I'm with Shasta Minis. We live in Shasta, California, my wife and I, Jessie. We're here today at Mini Meet West 2016 at Qualcomm and enjoying the great weather, friends, mini friends and everything else, and enjoying the autocross. So it's been a wonderful day and got lots of pictures and had a lot of fun. I brought out today down here is Mini Eagle. That's my Mini Cooper. It's a Mark IV Mini Cooper, and it's themed in tribute to our veterans, past, present, and future. As you can see, it's dedicated to their service to our country, and we themed it in that way so we have all the different aspects of veterans things. So we participate a lot in veterans affairs, parades, and car shows and so forth. So I got the Mini. I started out when I bought a newer Mini, a BMW Mini, which was a 2004. Enjoyed that, and then my wife wanted to get a classic Mini, so she ended up buying an earlier vintage Mini. And one thing I've noticed about Mini Coopers, they are personal, which means that if you own one, you own it. And although you usually share something with your wife or husband or whatever, but in this case, it's very possessive. So I had the fortunate experience of another friend of mine who's a veteran that was deployed over in Afghanistan let me care for his Mini for about 3 years. During that time, I was able to drive it and encouraged to, and I just fell in love with the idea, enjoyed the heck out of it. So when he came back from deployment, I had to buy a Mini for myself. So we got Mini Eagle. It was blue in color, and we got together and thought about it and decided that was what we wanted to do. So we go to events all over, up and down the country, also over the countryside and everything else. We're very active. We even go to Europe on occasion for Mini United. We'll be participating in Mini Takes the States and Mini Meets West. We drive our cars, we don't trailer them, so we've been up to Abbotsford and Penticton and Bend, Oregon, and Lake Tahoe and everywhere. So it's just part of our lifestyle. We're very involved in it and couldn't ask for a better bunch of people and a better bunch of friends. So it's a pleasure to do this every year, and I look forward to the next one. And you really get a community bond with these people. You know, when you come and see them, they're sincere, and you really get to catch up with everybody. It's a lot of fun. So that's my story about Mini Coopers.
Hi, my name is Teddy.
And this is Sage.
And this is our Mini, our 74 Austin Mini. I built it, restored it myself. We had it for 13, 14 years now, and it's our daily driver. My wife bought this car for me and as our first year anniversary, and I restored it. We're in the SD Mini Classic Group Club, and we've been in the club since 2010.
I'm Bill Wilson, and this is my 1960 Mini that was actually built in February of 1960, one of the first Minis. And I've had it since 1975, I think. It was originally red, and then I had it repainted pearl white when I found out it was, later I found out it was English white originally, but so now it's pearl white. And it was been a daily driver, not recently, but has been and can be. It's got a MG 1100 engine in it, so it's 1100. The interior interior is not original interior. It's one that's a different color scheme that I liked. And it has original cosmics on it that were an option back in the day. No, from Fresno. Drove down from Fresno and having a blast. Meeting a lot of good people, friends.
Hi, I'm Frank Picarella. I'm with Mini Owners of America, Los Angeles, here from Whittier, California. Came down to Mini Meet West 2016. Today we're doing our autocross function. Worked out to be really well, did it this morning, nice and cool weather. Had our car show yesterday. We're having our rally tomorrow. Just a great all-around event. Glad to see we can get people down from Canada and Washington and Arizona and our local people here to come out and support the event and have a good time. This is my 1969 Morris Mini MK2, little 998 engine, and we had a good time today doing autocross. No, it's pretty well stocked, just the mini light wheels, but it handled real well. It went around the track, and I don't believe I hit any cones, so I did good. I got it as a birthday present about 8 years ago, so we've been enjoying it. Really enjoy being with the club, because without the club, we wouldn't take the car out half as many times as we do. So I encourage, if you do have a classic car, join one of your local clubs and participate. Getting these cars out and having fun is a good thing. It's real easy to say, oh, it's too much trouble to pull it out of the garage, or oh, this, oh, that. Belonging to this club really made me use the car, and that's what we bought it for. So I'm real proud to be part of the club and to come out and use the car. I wasn't even planning to do the autocross today, but by the time we got here, went through tech inspection and whatnot, so why not go out and have a good time? So just a nice leisurely pace, get to watch some fast cars and participate myself. I thought it was great. The car is the way we bought it. About the only thing I've done to it is a little color sanding and polishing, maintenance, put tires and brakes and stuff on it, but the interior is original. The exterior paint has probably been painted one time or so in its lifetime, but I've just maintained it. It was a car that was imported from New Zealand in 2000 into the United States, and it had 2 previous owners before I got to it. Both previous owners upgraded to Cooper S's, so this was their entry-level car. You know, nice car, no rust, no problems, and it's been the same way for me since I got it 8 years ago.
My name is Jeff Van Hurston. This is my 1988 Austin Rover Designer Mini, which was a special edition made in black and white only. 1,000 cars of each for Scotland, Ireland, and England only. The factory spoke with Mary Quant, the designer that designed the miniskirt, who named the miniskirt after the Mini in 1966, and asked her if she would like to design the interior of a special edition. So she decided to do so for 1988 only. I bought it 5 years ago in 2011 from a lady in our club, and the handwriting on the back, her signature and the word designer is written in Mary Quant's handwriting. And this one was a Coachworks convertible that was done by Auto Design Coachworks in Kent, England. An Austin Rover dealer in 1988 took this car new, sent it over for the convertible conversion and the roll bar edition and everything, and had that added to the car. And then it sold in the Austin Rover showroom with the other Minis that were brand new in 1988 with an additional price tag of $3,500 or $4,000 for the conversion. But as we know, this is the only Mary Quant that is a Coachworks convertible in the world. I've contacted the Mary Quant Club in England and others worldwide, and I'm still searching. I'd like to know if anyone else has one. I'd like to know if there are any others. But it's got a modified A+ 1000 with 57 horsepower at the crank, 45 at the wheels, upgraded suspension and brakes, and big bore exhaust, K&N filter, 123 distributor, cam, ported and polished head, Lotus double valve springs, and larger valves, intake and exhaust valve. But it runs good. I take it surfing. I take it to a surf contest down in Westport, Washington. I live in Seattle. I take my 10-foot board, put it on top of the car, and I get so many photographs from other surfers that say, boy, what an ultimate surfing rig, you know, to get good mileage and be able to carry the board simply and easily on it. I had a kind of a sad, funny story. I was coming across the longest floating bridge in the world on Interstate 90 in Seattle on Lake Washington in a windstorm and had my hood fly up at 60 miles an hour and did some damage to the hood. Had to replace the hood and do some body work there, but it's a fun car. It's got about 300,000 miles on the body and it's the third motor now, and it's a lot of fun. I drive it daily, about 20,000 miles a year, and at Christmas time it gets a reindeer that goes on the front that extends out 28 inches. I have a Santa suit and a 9-foot leather bullwhip. I can whip the reindeer from inside the car, pull the reins, make the reindeer dance, put fake snow on the windows, a big sack full of what looks like presents in the back, stocking full of candy for children, and it's Santa's sleigh at Christmas time complete with Hyundai Santa Fe Santa chrome emblems on the doors and trunk. And a lot of people enjoy it. I've got some bells in there, reindeer bells, and some classic Christmas carols to play in it. But it's a whole lot of fun. I drive it all the time, and I've had 14 Minis in 33 years, and I'm a big fan, a member of Seattle Area Mini Owners Association. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Steve. I have a 66 Mini, which is a classic style, before they stopped making them in 2000. I bought it in about the year 2000, and I wasn't happy with the standard engine, so I designed a kit to put a Honda engine, a B-Series Honda engine into the Mini, and I made a business out of it, and so I sell the kits. And today, I brought the Mini out here today for the Mini Meet West Autocross, and which I helped organize, and at Qualcomm. This is Qualcomm Stadium, and ran it through, and I was fortunate enough to have the fastest car here, and so I'm very happy with today's results. When I first decided to put a Honda engine in, I did a little research, and I found out that the kits that were available, most of them in Britain, had issues that I didn't like. So one of them being that you had to extend the front end of the car about 4 inches, what made it look kind of funny. And the other is you had to cut the intake manifold to get it to fit in there. And I figured out a way to get the motor in without modifying the intake manifold or extending the nose of the car. And with a partner of mine, we decided to that was a big advantage, so we just started selling the kits, and we sold quite a few of them already. They're pretty problem-free. The suspension remains all Mini suspension, and it takes all the aftermarket Mini suspension parts, so that which is readily available. If you want to stick with all of the Mini suspension, you can, and if you want to use the stock 10-inch wheels, you can. The other kits that are available require you to use bigger wheels, extended nose on your car. You have to chop the intake manifold and shorten it, and connect it back together with hoses and hose clamps, which is very poor engineering. So we feel we have a superior kit, and we've been selling for about 10 or 12 years, and we're actually getting ready to retire. So we're just selling them to local buyers now, so we don't have to deal with the shipping issues. And when we're out of inventory, that's going to be the end of it. This particular car is my passion is lightweight, so everything on the car I've made out of aluminum or carbon fiber, lightweight materials to get the weight down. The hood is carbon fiber, the boot or trunk is, and the roof is a mixture of carbon fiber and Kevlar, and that reduces the weight quite a bit. And then there's specially machined parts, a twin disc clutch, lightweight 6-pound flywheel, and various other parts to get the engine weight down because it's heavier than the stock Mini engine. The Mini is various years. I put it together from pieces from several different years. I call it a 66, and the motor is out of a Honda Civic Type R. Makes 200 horsepower. It's got a 5-speed transmission. and it's very reliable. It gets 46 miles a gallon. And I've driven it to Canada twice and back, 3,000 miles each way. It's very reliable, and I'm very pleased with the performance. I got tired of the A-Series engine, and so now I can drive it anywhere without worrying about it breaking down.
Yes, my name is Graham Reed, and I own Heritage Garage up in Costa Mesa, California. And this is Mini Meet West 2016 that we were part of the organization committee, and just so fantastically happy to be here in San Diego. Brought a couple of cars this year, my Classic Mini as well as the BMW Mini, the Cooper S you see behind you. Both cars I've owned for a while, and I got them with different backgrounds. The green car was an Australian rally car that had been road raced in Australia, and we bought the car from a customer who had a bad engine, and with intentions of thinking just putting a motor in it and flipping it, but sometimes a Mini just kind of grabs you more than another Mini, and this one grabbed me, so I hung on to it and put a different engine in the car, and love the car. We've had it down to Mexico a couple of times, road rallied it down there. The car's been to the bottom of Baja and back, and a couple other trips across the peninsula. The green car is a 65 Australian built Cooper S. Engine is a little special engine. It had been something I'd built for a friend of mine who passed away. So the engine got finished and used in my own car, and when I drive it I kind of think about him and figure he's coming along for the ride when I do this. So the suspension and the brakes are kind of heritage stuff. We do a lot of suspension tuning and handling, and this car was set up with pretty much all the stuff that we do, the coil springs, sway bars, and some nice geometry setup, and just makes it fun to drive, comfortable to drive, but yet like a Mini it handles like it's on rails. The BMW Mini I bought from a customer after it got caught in a sandstorm out in Palm Springs area. The whole nose was sandblasted, the windshield was pitted, so it was just calling to get the nose painted. And one night after a few beers and a roll of masking tape, the Scottish flag seemed to appear on the hood, so it seemed appropriate. And then another one of my clients who does body wraps decided to go ahead and dress it up with some tartan. So, you know, flying the flag all day long when we drive the Mini. And the new Mini is pretty stock. The outside paint job is about the only modifications the car's had. It's a 100,000 mile plus car, but well kept and well maintained, and just something we enjoy driving. It's got a nice spirited feel to it, and the only car I've ever had a ticket in is the new Mini, so faster than the other one, I guess. And both of them give us great pleasure, great fun. And when you bring it to an event like this, where you're among other like-minded Mini owners, it just makes it all the more special. So San Diego has just been a fantastic venue for this. The people have come from as far away as Canada, and it's just great to reunite with people that we've seen before. I've been to, I think, 5 or 6 Mini Meets, 3 of which we were involved in the organization of, and I have to say this has been the smoothest and the most pleasant event that I've been involved in. I'm not just saying that because my wife Susan was a co-chair. Yes, I am, honey. But between the MOLA team that were involved and the fantastic help we've had from San Diego, the San Diego Club, Joni, Craig, and all the other people from San Diego, their level of enthusiasm has just been awesome, and they've been great to work with. Any bumps in the road we've come across, we've just smoothed them out, and it's just been great. We're looking forward to winding this up and having everybody go home with a big smile on their face, remembering Mini Meet 2016.
My name is Josh Sands, and behind me is my 1990 Mini, and it is a Japanese spec Mini, so therefore it has an air conditioner, which is something that I'm really proud of, because ever since I bought a Mini at age 17, I said the Mini would be perfect if it only had an AC. And just a few months ago, I was actually lucky enough to find this car, and it has an AC. It has a 1000cc engine, 13-inch wheels and tires, and it has fender flares, which are kind of cool. And my wife and I had a chance to do the autocross yesterday, and it's been a lot of fun. I saw my first Mini when I was 8 years old. My family came from Texas to Los Angeles on a family vacation, and we were on our way to Venice Beach. And this was one of the few times that I was actually not playing with my toys, and I was actually looking outside of the car. And we drove by a surf shop, and I saw a little car. I'm like, wow, what is that? And then years later, I found out that it was a Woody Mini without the wood paneling, and I think it's actually a van. Maybe it was a van, now thinking back. And that was when I was 8 years old. And then when I came out to California to visit my brother, I ended up staying, and I brought a Honda Sedan 600 with me, and that broke down. And then I took it to a shop that specialized in minis, and then I eventually sold the Honda Sedan 600 because it's only 600 cc's. Not a lot of power when you consider that the Mini has 1,000 cc's, almost double the power. And that's when I bought the Classic Mini. I actually made payments for it. I paid $3,800 for it. And I made payments, and I put it back together. It had just been painted. I put it back together, and that started my love affair with the Mini.
Hi, my name is Apple Sands, and I am Josh Sands' wife. And we've been married for almost 2.5 years, and because of his love of the Mini Cooper Classic Minis, I have learned to love them too. I actually own a 2014 Countryman, and we painted it all pink. And so I just love being here, and this is my first real meet. So I've just really soaked it in, and I just love the camaraderie and just the connections that people are making, and the connections that I'm able to make with people through their cars and through their passion for minis. And so I hope these meets continue on for many more years to come. Maybe someday we'll take our kids to a meet. So yeah, thanks for having us here, and see you later. Bye.
The answer to question 2 is within the first 5 miles of Highland Valley Road. Afterwards are the serious twisties, be safe.
Okay.
And then the cat on the right is mostly what color? Oh wait, let me skip
Blue, but that's okay. He's going to be run over again. This is going to be really fun. So.
What is the elevation of Crest? Who's tree service? Giant Manhattan?
Okay. I'm thinking I'm going to go around the trash truck. And we're off like a herd of turtles. And we're all going to run right over.
He's going to get right over again. He's a cameraman. Say, have fun! See ya!
Have fun, be safe. Do you have your mine's in my quality thing? Exit pass.
Oh, yeah.
Exit visa. We don't need no stinking exit visa.
Still sound like it's running okay?
Oh, it'll be running great. Given interim tuna. You did a tuna.
What?
You did a tuna.
They did?
Yeah.
Dusting the carburetors?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And the timing.
Oh, there's...
Good morning.
And how accurate do you believe my odometer is?
Not. So we turn left.
Left onto Fraser Valley. Left onto Fashion Valley, right onto Friars.
So, well, left, exit left. We exit left. Jeff exited right.
Oh.
Which for Jeff is probably correct, regardless of
So
which
they
direction
didn't.
he's
They
supposed
didn't
to.
actually stop it. Start it at step 1. Got it. Oh, Ken's behind us. I didn't realize Ken was behind us.
Of course he is.
So what did your dad say?
Nothing, he's asleep.
Okay. What did Nan say?
Oh, sure. They are, for the first time in months, 100% schedule free.
What? How did we score
does it on purpose.
Just about you.